4-minute is going to be a masterpiece. Hi everyone, my name is Jordie C, and today I'm giving you my first impressions on the new BL from Beyond Cloud, 4 minutes. What's going on everyone? Before we get into my first impressions, make sure you comment down below and tell me what your first impressions of the new BL series 4 minutes was in the comment section below. 4 minutes is a BL series starring Bible Sumett as Great and Jespipat as Tyme. We're plunged into the world of Great, who is a university student as well as the son of a very successful business owner. One normal day, Great suddenly gains this power to see 4 minutes into the future, which naturally causes him to attempt to alter unfavorable visions. He meets a surgeon by the name of Tyme, and that's when their relationship starts to develop. Now, this first episode, I really enjoyed. I'm a person who loves a very cohesive story, so the amount of world building and character building in this series was just enough to where we could understand who each character was and their contribution to the main plot, while not giving us too much to where we're wondering, like, where are they going to go next? What's going to happen next to these characters? Why are they placed in the areas they are? Why is this their contribution? It keeps us on the edge of our seats, wanting to know more about the characters. On top of that, the production doesn't seem too forced. I was very comfortable watching this episode while also being on the edge of my seats for some parts. The production and the story didn't overpower each other. It seemed Beyond Cloud had a big emphasis on making sure the production was up to par, but also making sure the story was cohesive and moved well and fluidly through. A great example of that is how they signaled to us that Great was about to have a vision. As you notice in the beginning of the series, when Great leaves his condo, he has a vision where he sees himself hitting a lady in a tunnel. I was thoroughly surprised because it felt like we were actually in that part of the story, but when they backtracked and we saw that he was having a vision, it made me think this is a really authentic and amazing way to show how he would feel these visions. It's almost like he did not know he was having a vision until the vision was over. Couple that with the amazing production of him being placed in that scene, looking at the lady on the ground bleeding out, and then being catapulted back into the car before he even entered the tunnel. That was an amazing sequence and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought that scene was filmed amazingly and the production was really nice, but I did have the thought of what are they gonna do when he has another vision? A lot of times when shows have a high production scene, it doesn't translate well over and over again. So a lot of times they have to come up with a way to convey the same emotion and feeling of what happened without having that visually, because it is very expensive to continuously reproduce that. And fast forwarding to Great in the hospital, seeing him talk to the lady that he hit in the hospital bed and then coming back, bumping into Tyme and having a vision, I thought that the emotion was conveyed really well while not having the overproduction of him being catapulted back. Speaking of Great's visions, I thought the way that they signaled to us that he's about to have a vision was very clever, and it didn't seem too out of place. If you noticed, whenever he has a vision, it is introducing a character that is going to be integral to the plot of the story. Whether it's just in that one scene or that one episode, or something that is going to be overarching throughout the series, whenever there is a main character or someone who is going to be an integral part of Great's journey of figuring out what this new power is, he tends to have a vision. They also signal in a very interesting way by showing us the time in minutes up to 4 minutes from when he first sees the clock. So if you notice in the hospital, when Great is about to go visit the victim, we see that the clock says 1:10 or 13:10. Every other cut, we see the time go up 1 minute until it hits 4 minutes, until it hits 1:14, and then suddenly he gets catapulted back to the receptionist desk and we see that it was just a vision. I love that we don't know he's having a vision until the vision is over. That's a really good way to immerse us into the story. Lastly, the story leaves room for multiple plot lines to be placed throughout the series and converge at a point. What I mean by this is, with each character being introduced, they seem to have their own story and their own plot that is going to start and run throughout the series. Whether it's the main plot of Great discovering his power and figuring out how to use it and how to maintain it, which has links to his dad's shady business and his brother's involvement. That could be something that deters him or causes him to make other decisions throughout the series. Korn having a side piece in Tonka and hiding it from his family may be something that comes back and affects greatly. Obviously, Great and Tyme's inevitable romance, as well as Tyme's grandmother. They haven't signaled anything that could be wrong to the point of us not seeing the grandmother anymore, but based on experience and based on watching a lot of series and a lot of television, there is something that is going to happen to the grandmother that's going to affect how Tyme moves in this world. And lastly, Tyme's co-worker Din, who's actually researching people that have similar experiences to Great, which I think is a great insight to the watcher, because it allows us to see the progress and information that is coming from having this type of power and people experiencing the same thing. We get an insight into how Great is progressing on a vocal level as well as visually, with Great going through these experiences. So in the watcher's mind, it's reinforcing these things that are happening. It's also a great source of foreshadowing, with the last lady coming in and saying, you know, she's having these visions. Where are they coming from? What does she do? We see that Great is starting to have these visions, and that is going to coincide with Great's journey on discovering this new power. Overall, this series has a great balance between romance and suspense. The actors are willing to go there, especially in intimate scenes. If you watch the sultrier version of 4 Minutes, they're willing to go there and actually be intimate with one another in a very realistic way. While it is not integral to the value of the story, it does enhance the storytelling and the relationship between the characters, because we get to see them in this vulnerable state. And it definitely gives that sultry vibe that they were going for in the beginning. So, you know, Beyond Cloud is definitely solidifying themselves as a production house that wants to produce captivating stories while maintaining quality production. And I honestly appreciate that. Their actors seem to actually want to play these roles and want to give a good performance. In my opinion, 4 Minutes is definitely going to be a masterpiece, but let me know in the comment section what you think about the first episode of 4 Minutes, starring Bible, Sumett, and Jespipat. Let me know in the comments. Let's have a conversation. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.